Good morning, GM, fellow Bufficorns. Thank you for coming out this early morning to support the Buffitank PitchFest. This is the third year that we've had the Buffitank PitchFest. I am Russell Castanero, the Bufficorn Ventures Investment Steward. I'm also a SporkDAO board member. I think we have about 13 minutes left on the current election also. So if there's anyone that's either watching or in the studio, here in the stage area that has not voted, I urge you to go to snapshot.box and vote, or to go to your ETHDenver account and vote within the next 13 minutes. Now that that's all done, this is the third year, as I've already said, that we've had Bufficorn Ventures PitchFest. And the idea was that when I first came to the first ETHDenver, I had a Bitcoin payments startup. And there was a place for hackers, there was a place for sponsors, but there really wasn't a place for startups to have a lot of presence. So we started with that. We did the first one was in the Buffitank pitch, was in the BV Lounge. It was really, really intimate, small, exciting, and we were like, this definitely needs to grow. So last year was the first year we had it on the main stage, and this is the second year we're doing it. And I think every year we've gotten progressively better and better candidates. The applicants that do apply, we had, I think, 96 this year. We got it down to a field of 45, then 25, then 16, and now 10. And you'll see those 10 here today. Most of them come out of the ETHDenver ecosystem, the SporkDAO ecosystem, and we put an emphasis on those who are trying to grab the next billion users. And I know a lot of people say that, but I think all of us can agree that we tend in Web3 to require things like knowing, you have to be a Web3 user before you can use 95% of the Web3 tools that are out there. And so the teams that are trying to bring on non-Web3 people and not make them into Web3 people, just make them into people, are the ones that we really, really like. So thank you for coming once again, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce our three judges. I'm going to give them a really quick blurb, and then they'll have an opportunity to go from there and tell you a little bit more about themselves. The first we have is Christian Navarez. He's the founder and managing partner of Rayo Capital Group, and he's from New York City, and he has come. I know he's been here the last 3 years. Is that right? Last 4 years, and also throws a hell of a party up in Breckenridge if you're going over there. I'll let him tell you more about it, but all three of these guys are very, very exciting, and I'm really happy that we have them. Dan Park is from Hashed. He is based in Singapore and really focuses on high-performance infrastructure and applications that bridge legacy systems to crypto, which, of course, is what we urgently need. Finally, we have Jamie Green from OrangeDAO, and he is the fellowship director over there. And OrangeDAO last year partnered with BV. They got like our top startups and went over, and this year we're continuing that too, with many of our startups going over, applying, and even one of them, Unicorn.eth, going over there. So I will now hand it over to them. If you want to start off in the order I introduced you and talk a little bit about what you're doing, that would be great. Thank you.
Cool. I'll kick things off. Well, thank you for the intro, and thank you for having me here. So my name is Christian. I'm the founder and managing partner of Rayo Capital. We're an early-stage, pre-seed focused firm. We like to invest at the intersection of capital markets and crypto, but obviously always open to looking at other sort of sectors. Quick background, I spent 10 years on Wall Street as an energy investment banker, covering both US and Latin America markets. And for the past 6 years, I've been in early crypto venture capital. Excited to be here and looking forward to seeing all the pitches.
Yeah, this is Dan from Hashed. Now, originally from South Korea, and I'm based in Singapore. Yeah, thanks for having me and giving me the opportunity to meet really great teams here. Yeah, we started, to introduce a bit more about Hash, we started around like 2017 with serial entrepreneurs. So pretty much we're all long-term oriented because like all the 3 founders are coming from the background in the Web2 space, like spending a lot of like a decade for each of them, building their own companies for multiple times, and now rotating their successful like capital into the Web3, starting from some early ICO stages, and now we're, I think, quite well positioned, well balanced between like 50% of the portfolio companies based in Asia, where we are currently more located in, because we also like opened up our U.S. office in 2019 in San Francisco. We also have a GP there, and yeah, the rest of the half in the Western Hemisphere mostly focused in the U.S. And also sector perspective, we split it into like quite half and half, well balanced between the consumer side of the applications and also the infrastructure. So I would say comparably, we're spending more time on the consumer side with the early investments with what we did around like 2019 included the really OG ones like Axie Infinity, the Sandbox, and the whatnots. Even before all the other cryptos that the VCs are not really into the consumer space. So really excited to be meet all the teams building, regardless of what you're building for the infrastructure or like a consumer and whatnot. So yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks, Russell, for the intro. My name is Jamie Green. I'm the director of the fellowship at OrangeDAO. For those of you who don't know OrangeDAO, we are basically a founder community, first and foremost, but we also invest across early stage crypto. I've been in crypto myself since 2017, primarily based in London, but spend a lot of time in New York and San Francisco. And very excited to see all the pitches today. Thanks, Russell.
Thanks, you all. I guess with the 3 of you, we basically have 3/4 of the world covered, right? We've got the Americas with North America and Latin America, and then we've got Asia covered. I mean, we got pretty good coverage here. I'm impressed with ourselves. Okay, so the way we're going forward is we're going to introduce the teams one at a time. They're going to come up and have a 3-minute pitch. Give them a little wiggle room to plug in, and then we'll have question and answers from the judges. After they're done, the judges will do some tabulation. While they're doing that, we'll have the next team come up. Please, everybody give them a lot of applause and encouragement. Teams, make sure that you're all lined up in order and that you also mention your names and mention when you start and when you finish, just to make sure that the judges remember exactly what that is and everybody watching. So to get things kicking off, we're going to have Johnny come up and talk about 9 Suns.
Fresh this morning commits, your firewalls crumble. Click, clack, squad, don't quit. Regenerator.
One, you need it? Yeah. You need it?
We multiply when we unite. Singularity surge, protocols ignite.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny. We're building Mighty Network. I'm a co-founder. What Mighty is OAuth for agents accessing private data. So as a little story time. Investors always get pitched all the time about how AI is going to transform, the next consumer experience using the best agentic systems. But if you look across the landscape, Robinhood had Plaid for financial compliant data access. Uber had the Google Maps for the best routing algorithms. And Tinder had Facebook to bootstrap its social networks. So all of these great companies basically has a consumer and an enterprise private data connector. We're that for agents. So agents today cannot win without private data. public data has already been exhausted. In order to become personalized, you need to tap into private data. Because liquidity is already so hard to move in this cycle, do you think data will be any easier? In fact, our answer is no. We go at the source. So we don't care if the data is at the source or at the enterprise level, we unlock it. Vana today has a data store or two data DAOs, but there's no real world value. And Anon, which is a Web2 connector, requires a lot of human in the loop. Anthropic MCP has a lot of great tools, but doesn't really work on the network. So our super connector stack lets agents use data based on the enterprise or the data owner's rules. So simply put, we are the secure plumbing for AI. We do it in 3 ways. Sidekick is like the plaid for agents, or Open Trust if you are from the Europe. It handles all the abstractions, handles all the security side, works with headquarters, which is our TEE backpack that lives either on device or on the cloud. And it hooks in with all of our partnerships that we're working with, which is our league, our roll-up. And the way it works is we think we not only unlock individuals, developers, but we also unlock enterprise use cases. So we are already we're backed by Anthropic, an angel from Anthropic, Orange DAO, as well as Polygon. And since we started a few months ago, we have already secured over $165,000 from grants from leading foundations such as Arbitrum, Nillion Movement, or Zero G, and more. And of course, none of this can be built without an excellent team. I myself is a second-time founder with an exit under my belt. I was a founding engineer at Evmos, a leading EVM on the Cosmos, where I helped them launch mainnet. Our CTO has been in infrastructure space and enterprise for over 18 years. In fact, his tech led Bird to IPO, the scooter company, from day 1 to IPO. And our COO, Munam, has deep Web3 experience within Delegate, which is a custodial service with over $1.4 billion. And of course, let me end by saying, agents today cannot win without data sovereignty. And owners need control. And so developers want access. Without Mighty, today, compliant data will never enter Web3 and will never be able to succeed. So we are the pivotal linchpin towards this agentic movement. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Judges, you now have 4 minutes to ask your questions.
I guess I could kick off. From a product perspective, where are you? And have you done any beta testing? And what feedback have you gotten that from the beta testing?
So we just launched our private beta this Wednesday. So we are in private preview for anyone. You're welcome to sign up for an account and test it out yourself, but also happy to showcase a demo later.
Hey, Johnny. So who is this for exactly? Is it for enterprises that want to sell their data to agents? Or, I didn't quite understand from the presentation. Who is it for?
Yeah, so it's for developers and enterprise who have data. For example, like if companies will not move their data to on-chain because one, there's no SOC 2 compliance, there's no HIPAA, there's no PCI DLSS. We are that layer that allows on-device, on-prem to unlock their data with agentic use cases. So today, enterprise market cannot launch. They don't work with OpenAI or Anthropic because they're worried about data policies and data retention. And so we allow them to use their data at the source.
So is it like letting them use their own data, or is it allowing them to sell their data?
Not sell, use.
Okay,
use.
to use it internally. Okay, thanks.
For me, I think, I'm quite familiar with the previous venture you did with EVMO side. Just wanted to understand more about what is the lesson learned and how you can bring those type of the expertise to what you're building now, if it's connected.
Yeah, of course. I think Web3 itself has focused strongly on infrastructure rather than real-world use cases. I've been in the blockchain space since 2011 with Bitcoin mining, so I've seen the highs and lows of each wave. Fundamentally, we want to build real-world use cases. So fundamentally, from day 1, we're working with teams like in DeepHen space, like Friend, like the OMI devices, as well as like extended our stack working with LangChain and Llama Index, where a Web2 developer exists. Additionally, we're also working with like Crossmint team to get our stuff into Goat. And so these are all things that we're brewing for the upcoming once our SDK is out.
No more questions on our end, right?
Thank you.
All right, judges, you have 2 minutes to write down your thoughts while we get our next presenter all set up.
Reload, drop receipts in my cheeks, encrypt chomping blockchain bones. Make it down to my voting fuck. Stealth crawl through your junk den scene. Heading up to the entropy. Mace cracked vaults like who's got the keys? Nullifier's huffing. You're just a rat with These firewalls splinter to confetti bits. I'm curating leaves at the after party, sipping TLS tears. Call me well connected, I call it. Born in the Genesis block with thunder in his soul. Captain Assyrian stands 10 stories tall. With these guns blazing and justice in his eyes. Leading the Portal Squad through crypto skies. Captain Ethereum.
Right. Thank you, judges. We're now going to move on to our next presenter.
GM, what's up? My name's Justice, and I'm the co-founder of Quadratic Accelerator, or QAC for short. QAC solves the Web3 grants problem because grants programs don't drive growth KPIs. Look at the statistics. Protocols spend tens of millions of dollars in grants, and over that same period of time, they don't see their TVL increase and often see it decrease significantly. Add to this, you have end users in desperate need or desperate desire for low market cap tokens, and the only thing they have to turn to is the casino of meme coins. They've shot the meme coin scene up to $60 billion, and almost everyone loses money. We hack this scenario and fix it. We fix Web3 grants by redirecting grant money into fair launch ICOs to drive adoption and community lock-in. This creates an 8x TVL for every dollar that comes into QAC. Projects get a token economy, yield-bearing token economy, not just another grant, and users get early access to new low-cap tokens. We call this strategy protocol-sponsored tokenization. This isn't theoretical, we're live. Our app is live, you can browse, mint, and claim vested tokens. We did our first season on a very small chain, ZK-EVM. We launched 8 token economies, raised over 340,000 POL, and created 8 million TVL. On season 2, over the next 2 months, we're doing double that budget, 3 million. Everyone who understands tokenomics and hears about QAC is crazy about it. They want to see it come to life and be extended, and they want to see it on their protocol. Our business model is simple. We take fees on each side of the market, 10% from the protocol on the round fee, 4% token split, and 3% on trading fees. We're literally collecting millions of tokens every quarter per protocol. And we're just getting started. Season 2, we're introducing asset abstraction, so users can spend any token in their wallet, fiat onboarding for non-crypto natives, AI co-marketing agents to help amplify and promote the token launches for teams, and points to promote speculation. We're going to establish QAC as the ecosystem's tokenization primitive for tokenizing new startups, growing ecosystems, and extending chain runway. Our team are OGs in the Ethereum ecosystem, leaders in token engineering, Web3 crowdfunding, and billion-dollar grant programs. Our influence in the ecosystem ensures that we can execute on this. With the right strategic partners, we can own this narrative and accelerate our chain deployments and do something incredible this year. Thanks.
Thank you for the presentation. This one is, I think it's really cool. So, quick background. We run a community called Web3 Familia focused on founders and developers. And back during the last bear market, we saw a lot of projects receive tokens or grants, and when the market tanked, sort of their grants went from whatever $100 to $10. So I think something like this, a solution like this, is great. From the initial users or startups who have been using your solution, what has been the initial feedback, and where can you improve from that?
One, they like it, but they want to see it take place on a more prominent chain. That's why we're doing season 2 on POS, not ZK EVM. Another thing that we learned is why we added the AI co-marketing agents is that they came to us for a turnkey token launch system. And so that means they weren't prepared to actually do the marketing on their launch. And it doesn't scale for us to do that manually across for all these. So we're adding this infra technology to kind of promote. And we have like an AI thesis as a part of that, that AI doesn't replace the team. It's like a new member of the team to promote unique stuff they're doing, you know?
Yeah, so very, very interesting product, but still want to understand more about how you're going to navigate through the cyclical side of the, the upside and, a bit of like, I would say, like downside when you hit the bear market. The public side of the raising, including the ICO, is kind of a bull market thing, and it was quite cyclical throughout the entire history of the crypto, right? So just wanted to understand how you're going to survive, onboarding the new startups to try to raise, like what you just pitched during the bear market season, for the first question.
Yeah, I would say we kind of feel like Web3 is dead, and we're just web now. And so we're super interested in micro SaaS, Web2 startups, and communicating the value prop of tokenization as the network is the moat, and actually onboarding Web2 teams that are new to the scene. Also, we think meme coins ate a lot of the cycle, and it got flushed out. The casino took everybody's wallet, right? If we can use that same energy into productive, legitimate, substantial startups, it's a whole change in environment. And like the resurgence of neo, protocol safe ICOs is prime. There's never been a better time to make a move like this than now under this current political situation.
And one more question adding on top of that. So you mentioned about the 8x TVL growth, right? So I think it's going to be in the lower 7 to 8 digit of the TVL as and also as the order of magnitude grows up to a few hundred mil. I think the number can get a bit smaller than 8x, because basically. I just want to more understand how where the numbers exactly coming from, the AX?
Yep.
What was the comparison that you made?
It comes because we do our token launches using a primary issuance bonding curve, and cryptographically we use a 13% reserve ratio, and so the grant money we get from the protocol we put in there, and this is what creates the TVL. That's a minimum 8x just based upon the reserve. If any of these tokens actually have tremendous public response, that's just a multiplier on top of that.
All right, gotcha.
Thanks a lot. What have been the feedback from the grantees? Do you think this is something they would also like, or really do they prefer just to receive the tokens so they can immediately swap to USDC?
You're saying the projects that we tokenize?
The projects that get the grants.
The thing that they're most excited about is they're tired of grant farming. It's a full-time job, and it sucks. For them to just show up.
Unfortunately, I do have to interrupt as we are out of time. Judges, thank you for your very interesting questions. You now have 2 minutes to deliberate while we get our next presenter up on stage.
Test for Buddha. Watch the ripple before the dive. Liquidity surge. Heart burning. Fluid fist clenches. Token hoarders, the ends decay. Calming the ripside where panic can't stay. Submerge. Hoarders, greed clogs the riverbed thick. Whale flicks tail. Instant bridge fix. Stash your bags, laps the deep pools king. My tidal waves, just the vault going. Flow, oh, oh, flow, oh, oh. Let the ether breathe, let the ether breathe. Flow, oh, oh, flow, oh, oh. Token hoarder snarls, I'll bottleneck the streams. Whale pool smirks, armor cleanse, moonbeam. Bring your dams, bring your greed wall schemes. My liquidity's older than your Ponzi meme.
All right, judges, technically that was 2 minutes, but we are going to take an extra minute here to get our last presenter set up, so don't feel like you have to rush.
Rise at 808 pace. Hoarder stash, flushed without trace.
All right, we are all set up and ready to go. Judges, prepare. Presenters, start when you're ready.
Good morning. My name is Ann Connolly, and I am the CEO of Tinsel, the Web3 hub for Hollywood. So Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite movies. I just love it so much because it's really badass. But if I want to engage more with this movie as a fan, the only thing I can really do is watch it over and over. Now, Hollywood is a $93 billion industry, but every year they leave millions of dollars on the cutting room floor and miss out on opportunities to engage with fans like me. Enter Tinsel, the Web3 hub for Hollywood. Fans love Tinsel because they can come on our platform and buy really cool custom NFTs related to their favorite movies. They can also get token-gated access to unseen footage, exclusive interviews, and director's cuts. Also, they can come and watch their favorite films and get token rewards that they can then spend in our tokens ecosystem. Now, studios also love Tinsel because they earn new revenue on every movie that they make, but also on every movie in their archive. And what's great about this revenue is it starts coming from the day they they announce the movie, as opposed to the day they launch the movie. And the data that they get from the early sales of NFTs can actually help them understand whether their community is excited about the film and can help them boost marketing efforts to get more people into theaters. Now, what makes us special is our unique business model. We actually license the Web3 rights for films the same way you would license TV rights or streaming rights. We then launch the campaigns and do a rev share back with the studios, meaning they don't need to know anything about Web3 to earn additional revenue on every movie. Our projections actually say that we're going to make $100,000 per film that we would share with studios. We have acquired a back end from another company and that's built entirely on Ethereum, and we have a front end that we just now need to connect to that back end. So that's sort of where we're at with the tech. Our go-to-market strategy is going to heavily rely on influencer marketing campaigns so that we can target that perfect movie fan that goes to theaters at least once a week. What makes us special and our key to success is our incredible team. I've been in blockchain for 13 years, and my co-founder, Rick, is a Hollywood movie producer who's made over 30 titles with big names including Anthony Hopkins and Ben Kingsley. We're raising a $500,000 pre-seed round, and that's going to help us get our MVP finished and take us to launch our first 4 films. So with your investment and partnership, we're going to take the the Mad Max movie and turn it into the Mad Max fan experience. So thank you so much. Again, I'm Ann Connolly with Tinsel, and we are Web3 for Hollywood.
Hey, Anne, thank you so much. That was great. So a couple of questions. You have not yet launched, as far as I understand. Do you have any LOIs or commitments from studios or anybody else to use your platform once you do launch?
So we don't have any signed contracts, but Rick has breakfast with the Lionsgate guys every morning and has worked with them on movies, and they're very excited, but they want to see something. They're not going to sign anything without actually seeing the tech, which I agree with, so that's where we're at.
So have you, like in those conversations with Lionsgate and others, how are they thinking about this product that you're launching? Are they excited about it? What are the signs that this is something that they want?
They've been asking about it regularly for about a year. Rick was working on it for a little while, and I've come on board since November. And they keep asking, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? So we know they're excited. We know they're driving for it. So yeah, we're getting good feedback from everyone we talk to in that space.
Got it. One last super quick question. I understood from your pitch the main things that you can do with the product are acquiring NFTs. There was one other thing that you said in the pitch I didn't quite get around tokens. Could you say more about that?
So the other two elements are token-gated access to unreleased footage, director's cuts, screenplays, that type of thing. And then the third piece is a watch-to-earn platform. So you come on, you watch your favorite movies once they're out in the public, and earn token rewards as a result.
All right, I have two questions. First one would be the kind of a high level, the projection breakdown of the 100K, the revenue that you projected per film. And the second one is like how is it going to be the entire governance token? And I think there should be some couple other elements per movie, per film. So how it's going to be directly engaging with your governance, future governance token.
So I caught the first question. So essentially what we're projecting right now, and this will change based on customer interviews and just testing, is to launch about 1,000 NFTs per film with 3 different categories of, let's call it quality or price. And so the vast majority would be about 900 of them would be in the range of $25 or so. And then we'd have another tier maybe around $250 and another tier around $1,000. And so there would be different levels of exclusivity, different levels of what you're getting. Maybe you're only one of 10 that can access a director's cut. And so there's a special price for that. And then, sorry, your second question?
How your governance token and each of the film tokens and NFTs is gonna have a ratio of the exchange or anything inbound with all together, how it's gonna work, the token.
So to be clear, it's not a governance token. It's purely utility. Think about it a little bit more like a points program. And so people can then earn the rewards. They can spend it on the NFTs, digital merch. They could in the future spend it on tickets at the movie theater, so incorporating different stakeholders from the theater ecosystem into that world, and enabling them again to support driving traffic to the movie theaters to help the existing ecosystem.
Thank you, Anne, for the presentation. You spoke a little bit that you're in discovery conversations on the rev share model with some partners. Can you talk a little bit about how that is going and maybe what's the initial pushback? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's early days on that front. So again, Rick is in touch with, he has contacts at A24 and Lionsgate. Our target market for the studios is what we call the mini majors. So it's essentially kind of the legacy studios that have been making movies for 100 years. They have enormous archives, but they maybe don't necessarily have the tech savviness that a Netflix or an Amazon would have. And so they need to have someone.
Time is up. Thank you so much, judges. You now have 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Fortress lock, no picking locks. Little knobs to cure your system's chicken pox. I'm the algorithm king. Hide behind my sting. Yo, this beat, fresh as morning commits. Your firewalls crumble. Click, clack, squad, don't quit. Regenerator. Regenerator. multiply when we unite. Singularities surge, protocols ignite. Regenerator, cannon blasting through the night. Centralize the risk, dude ain't built for this fight. But Regenerator means collab beats control, tell the whole damn law. Click, clack, goes a mace on firewall. I spooked intrudes from trash sheets. That's my device. Nullifier sniffing by my clothes too crisp. Mainnet gossips, tastier than breakfast chips. Story, hack, flurry.
All right, judges, that was your 2 minutes. We are now moving on to our next presenter.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ellie. I'm the founder of SoulCypher. We're doing something pretty crazy here. We're letting AI create the entire TV show. Every day, we live stream it for 30 minutes as the AI is writing the TV show, and we render the front end and show it to our audience. And audience, aka human beings, predict what will happen the next day. You can see a quick demo here about the live show happening. Let me explain how this AI TV show meets prediction markets work. So every day, this AI writes the TV show, the script in real time, and then we render the front end to show the audience. And to prove the authenticity of AI, we use LLMs in TE environment. Then audience, aka human beings, can place their bets on either Solana or Base. And these characters don't just live inside the story. They can interact with audience across social and in their own live chat room 24/7. The only thing they can't tell you is what will happen the next day because they don't know either. So our first IP is called To the Moon, where 6 characters with distinctive crypto personality, as we're all familiar with it, coordinate to launch this new L2 called Moonchain in 30 days. And if you guess right, the audience will profit from the drama, alliances, or betrayals. And you can already find these characters on Twitter. For example, Ava Asher, the NFT artist, she's already been engaging with her fellow NFT artist communities, collecting and critiquing art. So let's zoom out a little bit. Why does this matter? Our AI narrative engine have already been can spin up these stories with different front end applied to it. So think about sci-fi, fantasy, or more cinematic productions to tailor towards different tastes and content needs. So matter of fact, we're already in talks with anime IPs, different NFT communities, brands, and creators to plug them into the SoulCypher universe and help them craft their own SoulCypher style stories to engage with their communities. On top of all the transaction fee that we'll charge for every bet people place in our market. So why us? I am a founder with 2 exits. My last startup in the Web2 world was acquired by PubNative, which is a big ad tech company. And in Web3, I've helped onboard over 500 creators to launch their own social tokens with $1 billion trading volume. And last year, I introduced Ghost in the Shell IP from Codentia to a crypto conference. So we're launching our first season in about 2 weeks. Follow along the drama on Moonchain. And welcome to the new age of AI-powered entertainment. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. Love the To the Moon IP, and I want to maybe get the ethical hacker after this. Can you talk a little bit more about how do you plan to make money, your business model?
Yeah, so I think the most straightforward one is just 10% fee that we charge on every transaction. The more people participating in each story, the more fees we'll get. And on top of that, we're experimenting this DeFi bribing mechanism, where if, say a character has a lot of fans, they want to basically boost the influence of the character in the story, they can create fundraising campaigns, and then that will change the how the plot will unfold. And then with brands, partnership, creators, that's additional revenue streams.
Thank you. I'm more curious on the how the IPs are actually managed in terms of the data provenance and the like authenticity of the creator. So yeah.
So you mean like how we're currently doing it?
Currently, or like potentially going to look like in the future, about the like how you manage the IPs.
Right. So currently for this our in-house IP, we're basically putting like the script in like TE environment to prove that no human can manipulate the script or change or influence how the plot line goes every day. So that's the part to prove authenticity of AI. And then later down the road, we'll train, so to work with creators or IP, we'll train the characters to basically make it fitting to the character, but still let AI decide what's going to happen every day.
Hey, thank you for the presentation. So yeah, when you're starting a startup, you're, I guess, making hypotheses about things. And what from your presentation, I got that there are kind of two things that are novel. Is it that that people will want to bet on TV shows, or is it that AI is going to be able to create better and better TV shows? Like, which do you think is the thing that you're doing?
Well, I think the key to success for Soul Cypher is actually to create very engaging, addictive content. That's sort of the first thing we need to figure out. And I think the prediction markets, we didn't invent that. People already betting on so many different things. I think that mechanism itself is proved to be addictive. As long as you have something that people can bet on and then keep coming back to, that's I guess what we are betting on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, judges, 2 minutes to write down your thoughts. right, judges, that is your 2 minutes. We're still working on tech for our next presenter, and we will get started with them soon.
Captain Ethereum, forever. Captain shows the way from the Genesis block to a brighter day. Deep pools hum where the currents align. 8th century sharp like blockchain wine. Adaptive armor shimmers, volatility sieve. Watch the ripples, whispers, hawk before the dive. Liquidity surge.
All right, our next presenter is ready. You feel free to start whenever you wish.
Hello, good morning, ETHDenver. My name is Dan Hendrickson. I'm the founder of a company called Broken Reality, Inc. This is a company that's focused on where art and technology converge in unexpected and inspiring ways. A little bit about me. I'm a developer, designer, and an artist, and I love to biddle. These days, I'm building video games. Let me tell you a little bit about my genesis in gaming. I love weird video games. I love comic books, and this has been a big part of my life and a reason for what I've started to create in life. As I've gone through creative evolution, a dear friend taught me a very important lesson. The things that make you weird as a kid make you great today. And through that experience of searching for self-actualization, this led me to embody the spirit of a gladiator. Through that, I actually identified a unique opportunity. The problem with Web3 is that there are millions locked in underutilized NFTs. There's a serious lack of utility. Crypto communities crave interaction, not just transaction, and the gaming world awaits a true Web3 hero. Introducing Gladiator, an NFT card game experience that reads collectibles from the blockchain in a brand new, exciting gaming experience. The principles of the game are to be seamless, beautiful, and addictive, Web 2 and Web 3 accessible, and do public good. A very simple and predictable and exciting game loop, single player or player versus player, goes through a cycle of rewards, a shop economy, and this is the cyclical flywheel for the game. We've been in open beta for a year now, for today, actually, in February 24 to today, and averaging 16 minutes per session, 6 minutes in battle, 10 minutes in shop, with a very high net promoter score. Started with Cosmic Muffins, 400 tokens. We grew the community steadily, and this year we introduced the Bufficorns. We have 18,000 total playable tokens, mobile support this year, and we're increasing reach steadily. Time for a demo. So this is what Gladiator looks like. And when you jump into play, you equip your Bufficorns, and you can actually summon regenerate-powered themes inside of a Web3 gaming experience. Our marketing strategy is to partner, engage, celebrate champions, and conquer. Business model is IP integration and in-app purchases, backed by a respectable team with experience, and a seed looking for 500K, a full-scale expansion request of 2.5 million, and flexibility in this raise request.
All right, thank you to our presenter. That is all the time you have.
Thank you.
Judges, you now have 4 minutes for your questions.
Thank you so much. First, a clarification. So, are you primarily a game studio, or are you building infrastructure to bring NFTs into games, and you're going to take that to other game studios?
I'm a game studio that works with NFT creators. So it's a business to creator relationship that's designed to uplift Web3.
but primarily you're focused on your own games, not building infrastructure. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You say that Millions is locked in underutilized NFTs. Who is this a problem for? Is this something you basically want to give NFT creators the ability to use their NFTs more, or who exactly are you targeting with the game?
So I'm targeting both the creators of NFT communities that want to deliver more value to tokens that are just essentially doing nothing. The idea is that communities can now look forward to a new experience, introducing IP to a broad audience through Web 2 onboarding. So this game experience is not just connecting your wallet and playing with your own tokens, but you can actually sign up with an email, jump in, and experience Web3 IP pretty seamlessly.
Thanks for the pitch. So one question is, I think there's a bit of the recent successful TCGs in the Web2 space, including Marvel Snap. Just wanted to quickly understand more about the differentiated mode. Bringing the NFTs into this space. What's going to be the better for the users in terms of the profitability or like the stickiness for you to have like higher retention compared to the Web2 set of the competitors.
Yeah, I'm aware of Marvel Snap's success. Between them and Hearthstone, they've been a big inspiration. The differentiator between the Gladiator project and everything else is that the community helps design the experience. So the creator channels their community to give feedback on the card design, the abilities, and we can crowdsource an experience, which gives folks a lot of buy-in, and it also gives them a sense of ownership beyond their NFT. So you have gaming utility, and you have say in what the game experience is like.
How you harness the first generation, like a first batch of the supporters and the creators who are going to potentially, help bootstrap the IPs from the first place.
Say again?
You just mentioned that the creators are going to actually, the game players are going to be actually like contributing a lot to what you're building with your game, right? So wanted to understand who's going to be the concrete like target persona for the first batch to actually harness the entire bootstrapping of the cards and also all the gameplays that you just mentioned that is co-created by the users.
It's the Broken Reality team. They're meant to be accessible and listen to the community alongside of the creator. That's how we're going to build the experience.
Thank you for the presentation. In the 1-year beta that you've had the game, what has been the major sort of feedback from gamers that has to get to where you are today?
I have been pleasantly surprised, and so has my team. We've had little to no negative feedback. The only negative feedback is I would like a tutorial, and they notice nuance in the way they can't see abilities sometimes between turns. Aside from that, what we do is we gather that feedback, positive and negative, and we push out iterations almost weekly. So we're very active in listening to both positive and negative.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, judges, you have 2 minutes to write down your thoughts.
You ordered a moonwalk across gas-feed graves. My mainnet's smoother than your mom's VPN saves. Daughter of the Rockies, high-speed high priestess. Scales of justice ballast on a mempool express. Next bottleneck, I see mountain crush it. Sap of a sword with a tombstone on blade. 3 a.m. caffeine checks debugging code cascade. Pass a leak, we boot the mempool stew. We ain't for work and we y'all know what to do. Darkman, Swiss Army hero of the down night. Sparkman, juggling Gordon's dogs of the Lombard coin fight. We don't for sport blade splits to 9 times mid-air to play. You need beams, ask what group chat. Form up Denver to Seoul. We counterattack. Spark 9, Swiss Army hero of the dark night. Spark 9, juggling guardians, dogs with a Lombard coin fight.
That was 2 minutes for the judges. We're still getting our next presenter set up, so we'll let you know when they get started.
Fiat snarling about regulated chains. Spork blade splits to 9 times mid-air claim. You need beams, ask the squad group chat.
All right, our next pitch is up and ready to go. Please start whenever you're ready.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Brzik. I'm the founder of Carbon Sustain. Carbon Sustain is the AI TurboTax for carbon emission accounting. We're providing AI insights to help SMBs reach their net zero goals sustainably. So we don't have too much time, but scope 1 and 2 is in your direct control. Scope 3 is quite a challenge to compute. It's 15 categories as defined by the GHG protocol. So it's your supply chain. So as the laws are changing, California now requires the 10,000 biggest companies to disclose their scope 1 and 2. Next year, it's scope 3. Because of the scope 3, this opens up a market of hundreds of thousands of companies that now have to disclose on carbon emissions. And this is something like doing the taxes, like something that nobody wants to do, but everybody's going to have to be doing it anyways. And furthermore, it's big tech as well. And SEC estimates the problem to be pretty expensive, $500,000 per company per year. But if I talk to my accounting professors at UC Berkeley Haas, they tell me it's millions of dollars. We're slashing the cost and time by more than 50%. This is just a basic slide, but we have like pre-MVP right now. Comprehensive solution to measure emissions, prioritize reductions, and with AI to give. That's what the customer really wants, is to how to achieve their net zero goals. We use blockchain to source high quality carbon credits. So we're working with intrinsic methods, XRPL Ledger, and also Glow. And also we're doing all of the accounting for CDP compliance. It's a beast. When you look at the market, there's already a lot of carbon accounting players out there, including Watershed. We're targeting small and medium businesses, and we're really pushing automation and AI, Web3, wherever possible, in order to turn the liability to carbon accounting into an asset. Market for carbon accounting tech is big. It's over 20 billion. We already, I think I am on the wrong deck, and we're going to flip it. So 20 billion just for the carbon accounting. This is what we're doing with the sustainable action. We're building in Web3. So within intrinsic methods, they're actually issuing carbon credits on the blockchain. There's a shortage of high-quality carbon credits, and we're sourcing them, abstracting the wallet from the customer just so that they can achieve their net zero goals. We're also doing decentralized MRV, and we built a really cool DAO on ICP during the build-a-thon. So this is kind of the pricing. We're a B2B solution. It's a big task to compute the carbon emissions, scope 1, 2, 3. Once we can do for pro, such as Mr. Tortilla is one of our customers, the light customers are no marginal cost for us. We already have a few customers. We have a partnership. We actually put in a proposal for ETHDenver. So it was, we're going to see about doing it again next year. Berkeley Haas was our first customer. And we're also working with Mr. Tortilla with multiple years to do his carbon emissions, scope 1, 2, 3. This is our team. We have 30 years in tech and sustainability. We have great professors and advisors from ESG. UC Berkeley has given us our seed funding. We won all sorts of pitch competitions around campus that got us here. But really to take it to the next level, we're looking for a $1.5 million pre-seed financing to serve 50 SMBs, get us to $1 million of revenue, get us to cash flow positive. We are Carbon Sustain. We are sustainably helping companies reduce carbon emissions, and we're doing our part to help save the world. Thanks, ETHDenver. I'm Paul Brzik.
I'll start. So I used to be a former renewable energy investment banker, and we used to do a lot of sort of tax credit deals. And it's a very fragmented ecosystem on the corporate space, and you're going after the SME space. What's your sort of go-to-market strategy to be able to engage with that ecosystem and be able to educate them that this platform or this product exists?
Yeah, so one of the big things about carbon emission carbon credits is this slide right at the front. But most of the carbon credits, there's a big issue that they don't have any environmental impact. So Vera is the leader, and they've issued over 1 billion of these credits. They've crashed. So the market right now is sort of staying on the sideline, waiting for the market to clean itself up. So what our job is as Carbon Sustain is to source the best carbon credits that we can find. So Intrinsic Methods is Afforestation. They're an ecosystem partner with XRPL. So we source that, but then we add multiple layers of MRV to ultimately give the full story of what you're purchasing. So right now, when you buy a carbon credit, there's a bit of a leap of faith. And so to connect with the SME, what they want is that if they're operating in Los Angeles, they don't necessarily want to go and buy carbon credits that are in from Peru, as an example. It makes more sense to offset in your local communities. Also, because of the Web3, we're offering an ability for the customers to get sustainably rewarded for recycling. This provides another communication mechanism from business to consumer that didn't exist before, and it allows the consumer to do something sustainable, reduce the carbon footprint, and allow businesses to get a better understanding of their supply chain.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2 quick questions. First one, the rationale behind creating like 2 different models with a 10K per year and a 50K per year.
Yep.
So how each of the pricing. And the second one would be I can like hear you for the first one, and then I could go on.
Yeah, okay, sure. So 2 pricing, so 50K. This is referenced from the SEC where it's $500,000 per year per company. And it's also not very automated and the tools aren't very good. So we're slashing the cost by a factor of 10. And actually greater than that. So where's the cost? There is still a consulting aspect to this. So like when we were hired by UC Berkeley Haas, before I got my MBA, they hired me to compute the carbon emissions of events. So even from their perspective, they don't have access to all of the data, and there does require us to build custom software to build a pipeline. Once we do that, the next customer is Skydac, which is the leading accelerator at Berkeley. There's no marginal cost for us. So all of the software, they use the same catering companies, all the pipelines, all the reporting is almost identical. So that therefore, if we just give access to the software, so like for the SaaS, you want to report your emissions, go through CDP, and disclose it yourself, you're welcome to use their software. And that's why the marginal cost goes. There's still a slight amount of like consulting, but it's very low.
Yeah, cool. So, and for the second question, just want to hear more about your unique selling point, how you're pitching to the Web2 companies compared to the incumbent solutions that are already in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So Watershed is addressing the companies that are directly affected by SB 253 in California. That's requiring the 10,000 biggest companies to disclose Scope 1 and 2. Starting this year, it's a brand new law. Starting next year, it's Scope 3, supply chain. So the big guys like Watershed, Persephone, these are already unicorns, and they were only found in like 2020. So the market is really big. They're addressing those S&P 500s. We're addressing their supply chain. So the supply chain is not going to be able to afford these really heavy-handed consulting solutions to compute Scope 1, 2, 3, nor do they care that much. So AI Copilot to do it all for you and to automate in real time with high-quality carbon credits off Web3. It also it enables us the ability to be the watershed of Web3.
So a quick question from me. You mentioned SMBs that you're targeting, but you said that the corporates currently spend 500K. How much do SMBs spend on carbon accounting today?
It is varied, but like I can give you some anecdotes. I've met multiple small CEOs that are spending north of 10 hours a month of their own time trying
Sorry, I didn't hear that. How much?
Okay. North of 10 hours per month of CEO time.
Right,
but
okay.
These are small businesses, so in those cases, that's a lot of fruitful time that could be used for something else. So it is varied. You can use Excel sheets and you can do free, but it costs lots of time. And then when you start to get into an
All
organization,
right, unfortunately,
with
this
100
is all
people,
of the time we have. Thank you, judges, for your questions.
Thank
you
you.
have 2 minutes now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Urgent notes, dancing where the bottleneck's been. Professor Way's got the future on spin. Plug in tomorrow with yesterday's ram stains. Throwing me mad, but mad's just a beta test for Boodle. Centralizers flexing weak API chains. Regenerate roll up, unity in the veins. I blast, cut through that foot, disguise fortress walls, bulletproof. Watch scams die. How you rebuild? Collide. How we win? Don't fade. 80-year-old beam stitch the fraction map. Brittle hearts pumping, but I'm no cap. Regenerate. Yeah. We multiply when we unite. Singularities surge, protocols ignite. Regenerate. Cannon blasting through the night. Centralizers, dude ain't built for this fight. You tried to fork the code, but the squad don't split. Transparency spotlight, kill the glitch. Your mainframe stutter, our 6 T-Pain smooth. Region rhythm, block chains dancing, no noose. Stacking wins like Lego blocks. Eyes peeled for snakes lurking in soccer counts.
All right, judges, that was your 2 minutes. For our next presenter, start when you are ready.
Hey everyone, I'm Jay. Here I was worried that we were going to have a full room of people, but I'm the founder of Belong, and Belong is the real world on chain. We tokenize access and engagement for communities worldwide. So crypto, with more than $2 trillion in the ecosystem and more than 600 million people using that or holding crypto, still lacks a meaningful way for people to interact with it on a daily basis. We built Belong to enable brands and communities to monetize, engage, and retain their users through activations, tokenized and gated events, content, and physical locations. We also enable developers to leverage our white label, SDK, and API to build their tools in days, not months. We have been around since 2021 and have onboarded a great number of amazing partners and customers like Google, Web Summit, Dubai Blockchain Center, and others, and received a number of grants from ecosystems like Scale, Starknet, and Sui. We are targeting social-fi, engagement, loyalty, and location-based entertainment that will together grow to about $60 billion per year by 2030. Our main competitors are the overlap of essentially location-based activations and community management. And we have an app live on iOS, Android, and the web, and a white label that anybody can brand according to their own needs and leverage tools such as tickets to their events, smart space access through our Apple Home integration, gating of content, and AI-powered raffles and community management. We are also launching a bounty-based location marketplace that will help brands bring physical foot traffic into their venues. We've done a number of big music festivals and activations at many conferences and for communities around the world, and you should check those out on our platform. We help people generate income through bringing people and buyers to the communities, essentially serving as their real-time affiliates. And we help brands essentially decrease costs for customer acquisition and monetize through the use of referral marketing from their biggest fans, their own communities. We are launching our token in April, and our protocol will enable the facilitation of those transactions to essentially provide all of the tools necessary for businesses to succeed and for users to leverage crypto without any crypto expertise. We have more than 50,000 active users and 13,000 tokenized locations and events on our platform. We're live in 15 languages with 1,000 communities on board and $1 million raised. Right now, we are raising capital for our token launch.
All right, that is all the time you have. Judges, please ask your questions.
Hey, thank you so much for the presentation. Yeah, so we've seen a few people try and crack this tokenizing access to event space. I haven't seen anybody like really crack it though. What do you think it is about your approach, or what is your unique insight here that you think that will allow you to succeed in this space?
Sure, certainly. We've struggled with that for a while because for users, it was very difficult to adopt crypto world cases without actually knowing what crypto is. So we've abstracted away all of the crypto complexity, and the end users sign up with their Google accounts or Apple accounts. They pay with Apple Pay. The wallets are created in the background. All the transactions are gasless. So we are that product in the space that actually allows anybody, even someone's grandma, to go and purchase a ticket. And we actually did a grandma test where we would give it to our grandmas and have them purchase tickets to events before.
So you're competing then with also, if I'm running an event, your platform is competing with other Web 2 offerings. Why are events using you compared to other solutions?
Sure. So in addition to just providing access to events and doing ticketing and physical door entry, we provide brands with the ability to launch white label apps to iOS, Android, web, and TMA in under 1 day, fully customized with their logos, community management, and now also AI tools that engage your community in group chats in terms of activations and essentially allowing those users to participate more actively in bringing you customers.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the progress, and thank you for the pitch. With the capital that you're raising, what's your plan to do? What do you want to do with that money?
Sure, we're actually generating revenue, and we're almost profitable if you exclude kind of all the marketing that we're doing for the token launch. However, exchange listings are expensive nowadays. We also want to kind of scale out to more locations around the world and support more communities, which we are already doing organically, but an additional capital injection would help us essentially double down on marketing and bring more different types of businesses, since we've been mostly targeting larger enterprises so far, and that alone is not going to be sufficient for the mass adoption of this as a go-to instrument for both Web 2 and Web 3. So that's kind of the direction that we're taking now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the pitch. I totally get the point that maybe the activation is not going to be the big problem if you become the de facto gateway for any of the crypto events. But at the same time, I'm curious, like, how are you going to manage users to be in your application, even though there's not really events going on, like at the year end? Or are you going to supply for provide some other online only the engagements or any type of the contents for the users?
Sure. So once our token is live, we're actually enabling this kind of new affiliate location-based functionality, which is like, how you sometimes walk down a bar street and somebody approaches you, it's like, hey, come into that venue, get a free drink, and then you go there and claim your free drink. So we did the same, but with crypto. People scan a QR code, become the venue's affiliate. When somebody scans theirs, they go in and claim their free drink or benefit, and then the affiliate then gets paid. So that's going to be a whole map of venues and tokenized location points where people can make money by bringing their friends there, by choosing the specific venues where they can get perks and discounts since they're going out anyway.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Judges, you have 2 minutes to think about that.
Sap of a sword with a tombstone and blade. 3 a.m. caffeine checks, debugging code cascade. Pass the leak, we boot them and pull stew. We ain't for work and we y'all know what to do. Sparkman, Swiss Army hero of the down night. Sparkman, juggling guns, dogs of the Lombard coin fight. We don't fork, we adapt, slapping fiat fiend with a liquidity trap. Fiat snarling about regulated chains. Sport blade splits to 9 times mid-air to play. Uni beans, that's what group chat. Form up Denver to Seoul. We counterattack. Sparkman, Swiss Army hero of the down night. snarling about regulated chains. Spork blade splits to 9 times mid-air.
All right, for our judges, that was your 2 minutes to reflect on the last presentation. We're just getting our next one set up, and we should be starting shortly.
Swiss Army hero of the dial night. Sparkman, juggling gardens, tossed with a Myanmar corn fight. We don't fork. We don't fork.
All right, we are ready with our next presenter. Start your pitch whenever you are good to go.
Good morning, and thanks so much for the opportunity to speak here today. I'm going to talk about Universal Marketplace Protocol, or UMP, but first I'll tell you about us. I'm Nick Bax. I've been doing crypto analytics research for about 8 years. My co-founder and CTO, Barabas, is an open source engineer who has contributed to a large number of crypto projects. We all buy stuff online pretty much every day, but there are serious problems with e-commerce that right now we simply accept. Reviews are untrustworthy, affiliates are getting screwed out of referral fees, sellers get hit with chargebacks or are wrongfully deplatformed, and consumer data breaches cause serious harm to our privacy. And of course, we're paying up to 25% in fees to major marketplaces for the privilege to use them, eating into seller profits and raising prices. We think crypto should fix this, but existing crypto payment platforms just aren't as good as credit cards. To solve this problem, we've built a set of smart contracts that facilitate payments. Think Craigslist with crypto. When you buy something using UMP, the payment is held in an escrow smart contract until the item is delivered. At that point, the payment is released to the seller and any affiliates. If something does go wrong with your order, a third-party arbiter can step in and issue a full or partial refund. Right now, the arbiter is a mutually trusted third party, but it can also be anything else. Think an AI agent, a DAO, or a smart contract using tech like zk-TLS. Buying things with UMP is quick and easy. Our MVP is already live on base mainnet, and you can use it today. No sign up is required. Just visit a storefront page, click the item you want to buy, enter your address, and pay with your crypto wallet. The whole process takes seconds. Setting up your own storefront can be done in minutes. I've been selling some of my crypto collectibles, and everything has been super smooth so far. UMP doesn't take a fee for sales. Instead, we're designing a novel DeFi mechanism which uses Uniswap v4 and Ethereum attestation service to facilitate Sybil-resistant reviews. The seller pays a fee which goes to the protocol. Buyers receive a portion of this fee as a cashback reward after providing a review. If a buyer thinks the item is awesome, they can opt into a flywheel mechanism where they can stake their reward and get upside in future sales of that item, meaning buyers are putting their money where their mouth is. This will make fake reviews unprofitable. Thanks for your time today. You can test us out by buying stickers or collectibles at umplabs.com or scan the QR code. Follow us on social media and join our Discord if you want to learn more or get started with selling.
Thanks so much for the presentation. So to be clear, are you helping existing retailers to accept crypto, or are you encouraging people basically to set up entirely separate stores? So to be concrete, if I'm a Spotify seller today, do I need to set up a new store with you guys, or can I plug in and accept crypto via my existing store?
We're working on a Spotify or a Shopify integration. But right now, we're really targeting crypto native people who want to do peer-to-peer sales. So think we have some friends who are in DAOs that are building real art or whatever, and they want to sell it. I'm really well connected to the Bitcoin collectible community, and those guys have wanted, they hate paying fees, and that's going to be our early go-to-market.
And adding on top of that, how do you think about the TAM and the SAM about the crypto native side of e-commerce?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Total addressable market, just in a high level, and also how much of the real customer, the number of the customers, the number of the retailers that you can actually acquire from the crypto side. Because your like go-to-market is starting from there.
Yeah, so that getting supply side is one of our biggest non-technical challenges. So that's a biz dev thing. We're going to reach out, try and get integrated, especially sellers that have sort of higher chargeback rates. That's who we're really going to go after. But yeah, we can. If retailers want to use us, we can build custom integrations. We have a really cracked dev team, and we'll do whatever we need to make them happy.
Thank you for the presentation. In testing out the MVP, what was the biggest feedback that you got from users?
So one of the things so we reduced the number of clicks for purchasing from 4 to 1. That was a big thing. We had to build a custom encryption scheme because previously we were using XMTP to send over the mailing address, and that required a few more clicks. So we really reduced the number of user actions. That was one of the big things. And then the other thing was we got a lot of feedback about affiliates. So we're about to launch what we call affiliate storefronts. So you don't have to be a seller. If you're an influencer, you can make your own storefront that lists other people's items. And then when you promote them, you get a fee after the transaction is complete. So that was one of the big things just for influencer marketing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, judges, you know the drill. 2 minutes to write down your thoughts.
Crypto free and warm. They say he's eternal, like a blockchain that flows. Where freedom needs defenders, that's where Captain goes. So raise your notes up high, let your smart contracts fly. The captain's here to stay, keeping centralization away. Captain Ethereum, forever. Captain shows the way, from the Genesis block to a brighter day. Centralize the risk, flex and weak API chains.
All right, thank you, judges. And our next pitch is ready to go, so feel free to start.
Hello, Denver. This is Jean-Andre, co-founder of HODL Protocol. We are tokenizing a 1 trillion TradFi algorithms market, not yet in DeFi. So we have all been here, right? As hodlers, we've gone through long, painful drawdowns, trying to make up for those drawdowns and those losses. We've gone into liquidations, trying to go for sort of leverage gains, and dealing with the uncertainty from changing markets, balancing our portfolios manually, which is time-consuming, and it drains our emotions, which leads to really bad decisions. So we need TradFi-proven strategies to thrive in any market conditions. Our products enable token holders to accumulate wealth and outperform passive hodling or holding of assets with lower risk and using no leverage. We're introducing TradFi-tested strategies and hedge fund managers that until now have been reserved to the Wall Street elite. Here's a product spotlight from one of those strategies. As you can see, the algorithm is simply an automated algo that price goes up, go long, when price goes down, go short. You can then, over time, see the performance on the white line is the price of the asset. The green line is the price of your asset plus the strategy on top. It works with any alt, any token, Ethereum, and also with RWAs. So how it works specifically is you simply select your token from your wallet, you select the product, the strategy that you wish to deploy on top of it, and that's it. You set and forget, and then you'll see the strategy perform over time. Now, what's the unfair advantage that we bring? The product construction, really, only protocol that targets 10 to 20% across blue chip tokens and RWAs, as well as access to managers and strategies of the elite to build sustainable returns across market conditions which perform better under bear market conditions. Now, just to give you an idea of how our competitors are in the space that we move in, we have a clear quadrant to bring higher percentage of target returns as well as deposit and forget crypto collateral. Our roadmap is basically going for B2C. At the moment, we're on testnet on Arbitrum with early adopters and high-value individuals. And then we are, in terms of go-to-market, going to B2B2C. We have already LOIs in place with addressing roughly 200,000 users. And we'll also be going on mainnet on Base and deploying on Mantle as well. And then as we move into later on this year, we already started conversations with DAOs, whales, as well as foundations and institutions that have found our product of great use as they actually have a token in their treasuries that need to be managed. Our team is a combination of experienced people, both in the banking, quant, and Web3.
Right. That is all the time we have for your pitch. So judges, 4 minutes for questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Gene, for the presentation. I would say curious to know what has been your performance against sort of other benchmarks out there for a product like yours.
The nice thing about our product is that we found no clear sort of competitor to sort of benchmark against. So we find that we have a clear field to actually come into the space, which has been obviously proven by the type of conversations that we are getting some traction with at the moment with institutionals.
Can I get more of the, thanks for the pitch, and can I get more of the concrete, more detailed user persona you're trying to target for the first batch?
That's a really good question. So initially we thought that obviously being a hodler, myself and my partners, we thought that this would go better for retail and retail users. But what we've seen is that there's been an amazing amount of traction with institutions, both from the institutions that we are sourcing some of the strategies with, but also with institutions that we're talking about treasuries. So we would like to still have, which I think is the fair thing to do, to have the retail aspect of it. So it's basically anyone that is either come already into crypto or somebody that wants to come into crypto but doesn't want such high risk products as they come into, obviously a very volatile industry.
Hey, thank you so much. So I just wanted to clarify how you said somewhere in the slide you give access to managers and strategies. How exactly does that work? Are they managers that work directly for you, or are you somehow enabling access to managers of different strategies?
Great. So both, really. So initially, because of our team's makeup, we have strategies that are our own. They are all on-chain and they're transparent. But as we continue to engage to some of these funds that want to bring their strategies with us, we'll have access to those award-winning hedge fund strategies to come and basically deploy on our platform.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. If all your strategies are on-chain and transparent, what is your edge there? Because surely then anyone can copy you.
Yes, so we have the retail ones will be sort of, again, transparent and open, and that's for the sake of the industry dealing with transparency. But on the more, as I would say, exotic ones, which are the ones for the institutionals that have much higher performance, this will be discretionary strategies that those managers will let us use.
Got it. So today everything's transparent, but in future you will keep some alpha back to offer to institutions.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They cackle and shout, self-sustaining hugs.
All right, judges, 2 minutes to write down your thoughts.
Professor Way's got the future on spin, urging those dancing where the bottlenecks been. Professor Way's got the future on spin, bugging tomorrow with yesterday's ram stains. Chaos is not compeller, order's just a bug I forgot to unfurl. Mainnet shivers as their wild hair glows. Rumored AI, nah, just 3 Red Bulls in a row. What you building, prop? A singularity jukebox. How you stay charged? Espresso stream through my cortex. Who's your nemesis? Light runs dial up found. Age, old to speak, young as each block mine down. Professor Way's got the future on spin, urging those dancing where the bottlenecks been. Professor Way's got the future on spin, bugging tomorrow with yesterday's ram stains. Throwing me mad, but mad's just a beta test for Buddha. Oh, he just got to do. 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 Deep pools hum where the currents align. 8th century sharp like blockchain wine. Adaptive our machines, volatility sieve. Watch the ripples, whispers, horror before the dive.
All right, thank you, judges, for writing down all of your thoughts. And for our next presenter, you may begin whenever you are ready.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. I am Brock, co-founder and CEO here at the Indexing Company. We are building distributed infra for open data. So one of the things every other company that is pitched today has in common, they need on-chain data. We're in a new industry using the same solutions, and they all suck. So can't really see it on the graph, but basically there's a whole bunch of middlemen you have to work through to get access to that open data. You're working with closed source APIs, you're building in-house infrastructure, putting it in your database, and often spending up to 50% of your funding rounds just trying to get access to that data every single time. There's a better way to build. So we've gone from the ground up, and instead of doing intermediary storage solutions, we leaned into distributed compute. So leaning on the power of Web3. Companies get exactly what they need, they get it in their infrastructure directly, and open data stays open. So all of this is powered by basically what we're redefining the concept of an ETL. So instead of those intermediary storage solutions, we're doing peer-to-peer compute. Peers are clustered into what we call neighborhoods. These neighborhoods are then incentivized to provide their data and compute. So it's the combination of both. So you're able to source from anywhere, transform everywhere, deliver just in time. This works for on-chain data, works for off-chain data. This has all been live in production for years. Some of our customers, they dream it, we power it. They get to focus on what makes them unique, and hint, that's not their data infrastructure. And so we work with humans and agents alike to let them get exactly the data they need, when and where they need it. And so you can see some of the use cases, block explorers, DeFi protocols, training for AI agents, portfolio management, you name it, we have it all. Futures now, so we've already done over 300,000 in revenue. We've helped 30 companies sleep better at night. We support 110 different blockchains today, as well as some off-chain sources, 10 billion transformations. We're ramping up. We're now working to close our seed round to accelerate. So we're working towards 1 million ARR this year, protocol white paper by summer, and just-in-time indexing for all today. Myself, been in Web3 since 2017. We're co-founders. We've worked together at past ventures, always in data, always in startups. We know this space very, very well. And that's us.
Hey, thanks for the presentation. So I think one thing that I didn't get from it was, well, two things. How do you make money? Like, what's your revenue model? Is it SaaS? Is it charging per tokens or whatever? And then based on that, like, how big is the opportunity here? How big could this get?
Yeah, so today's revenue, SaaS-based, pure consumption. So we charge customers for the compute. So very, very much aligned incentives. Future state, as we open this up, we'll take protocol fees. Second bit, again, pretty much every company in Web3 is building this in-house. So the TAM is essentially half of all funding in Web3 right now. We are going after companies like The Graph, Alchemy, that are already unicorns. And this is sort of an established market that's ripe for disruption.
Thanks.
Thanks for the pitch. A question pretty simple. What's going to be the selling point for the customers in perspective of comparing this to the centralized option in the market?
Yeah, so even The Graph, which claims to be decentralized, is actually just serving from single servers. And so they're doing an API-based solution. So it's a pool. Customers have to ask for that data from the API, integrate it into their systems. Ours does the reverse. We're push. So customers get real-time data directly in their databases, and they don't have to build all those intermediary steps in between.
Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned you're projecting $1 million ARR. Can you break that down on how that's going to come about?
Yeah, so we're growing 10 to 15% month over month right now, onboarding new customers, and there's kind of two big approaches to growing revenue. One is net new customers, of course, so we did a lot through referrals. Two, with existing customers, we grow with them. So a lot of times they start with maybe 1 or 2 chains, then they realize, hey, Solana meme coins are really popular, we want Solana too. And so we're kind of being able to do that wedge approach with our customers at the same time.
Any questions? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If we have time for one more, I'll ask one more. So you mentioned data, but you also hinted about compute as well for training. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our end customers right now, they ultimately want data. The way that traditional solutions solve that is they pre-process all of this data, they throw it in a database, and they resell access to it. So they sell it over an API, database sync, whatever it might be. We are flipping that script and providing lower cost, higher flexibility by leaning into distributed compute. So when customers ask for data, it's actually processed on demand. That's the just-in-time indexing. So this is where for our network, our protocol, it's compute and data. The combination of the two is what makes it powerful.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, guys.
All right, and judges, that was the last presentation, so take 2 minutes to write down your thoughts, and I believe Russell's going to give us a few words as well.
Oh, I've got something here for everybody. So while the judges are tabulating, I'm going to give them their honorary work whale plushies.
Yeah.
Woo. Here we go.
Let's go.
Which many have found are excellent substitutes for neck pillows when you're flying. They're really, really good that way. So while they're doing everything, while they're putting all the numbers together, I wanted to find out, to first tell you all, since you're here early, closing ceremonies happens right after this. We have a table set up right over there with free t-shirts of all sizes. So if you'd like to go get some free shirts, please do. Just wondering how many of you actually were able to get to vote in the election this morning that closed? So was everybody else just not particularly interested, or did you try? Like who didn't know about it? So for those of you who are watching, that was the vast majority of people did not know about it. So I think what the lesson there is however much we're communicating, we need to triple our efforts to communicate. Because it would be great to have, we had, I think, over 130, maybe 140 people actually vote this time. Last election, we had about 90-something votes. So it is trending up, but now that we have over 17,000 members who have joined officially our co-op, we'd like to see many more of you vote. So I hope that you will in the future, and we'll try to do better to make sure that there's no possible way you could not know how to vote. So this is their first time coming to ETHDenver? 2, 3, 4. So a decent number, around maybe 10, 15 of you. I hope that you've had a great time. The closing ceremonies is probably one of the most exciting times because we started as a hackathon. And right now, the hackathon judging and everything, they're going through, I think, a pitch training over in the Professor Gway stage. A lot of times, these are really, really green teams, and they don't really know how to pitch. You just saw some pretty polished pitches up here. And I think knowing that is really important when you evaluate these guys and all the celebrity judges and everything that we're going to have. Now, while we're waiting for the tabulation, I want to tell you some of the interesting things about the past presentations we had. If I can find it, let's see here. So we had just so that you know, we have a bunch of questions that are related to the innovation, the market fit, the technology. But what I think is really interesting is how many of these companies, at least one judge would recommend to go into to get funding or acceleration. And the answer is 6 of them. So 6 of these companies had at least one or two of the judges say that they should move on, which I think, having done a lot of these in the past, is pretty good. A lot of times you get people who don't know about product market fit, who haven't gone after this. And I will say that this year, I'm really impressed with the different companies that we've come up with, who have come up. And we had 96 different companies apply. So this is really whittling it down to the creme de la creme. I'm going to still give them a little more time, and those of you, I said you should go ahead and claim your shirts because we're going to bring out some different shirts later on. You can claim those too. There's not any limit there. But thank you very much for coming, and we'll be announcing the results very, very soon. Everybody all ready? So all the teams come up to the front, please. Thanks.
what to do. Sparkman, Swiss Army hero of the dark.
Just a repeat announcement. If you are one of the pitch presenters that we just saw, please come up to the stage. You're definitely not all up here, but I hope you're still nearby. So again, if you're one of the pitch presenters, please come up on stage.
Trapping fiat fiend with a liquidity trap. Fiat snarling about regulated chains. Sport blade splits to 9 times mid-air to play. Uni beams, ask what group chat. Form up Denver to Seoul. We counterattack. Sparkman, Swiss Army hero of the dark night. Sparkman, juggling governance talks with a murmur coin fight. Fiat snarling about regulated chains. Sport blade splits to 9 times mid-air claim. Uni beams, ask the squad group chat. Form up Denver, so we counterattack. Scorpion, Swiss Army hero of the dial night. Scorpion, juggling governance talks with a Myanmar coin fight. We don't fork. We don't fork. Fiat snarling about regulated chains. Sport blade splits to 9 times mid-air plane. Uni beams, ask squad group chat. Form up Denver, so we counterattack. Yo, centralizers flexing weak API chains. Regenerate roll up, unity in the veins. I blast, cut through that foot, disguised fortress walls bulletproof. Watch scams die. How you rebuild? Collide. How we win? Don't fade. 80-year beam stitch the fraction map. Brittle hearts pumping, but I'm no cap. Regenerate. Yeah, we multiply when we unite. Singularity surge, protocols ignite. Regenerate. Cannon blasting through the night. Centralizers, dude ain't built for this fight. You tried to fork the code, but the squad don't split. Transparency spotlight, psst, kill the glitch. Your mainframe stutter, our 6 T-Pain smooth. Region rhythm got chains dancing. No
Johnny from 9 Signs. We are still looking for Johnny from 9 Signs. You do need to be here for the final decision. So if you're around, please head up to the stage.
Fortress lock, no picking locks. Brutal mobs to cure your system's chicken pox. I'm the algorithm king. Hide behind my sting. Yo, this beat, fresh as morning commits. Your firewalls crumble. Click, clack, squad don't quit. But Regenator. We multiply when we unite. Singularity surge, protocols ignite. Cannon blasting through the night. Centralizers, dude ain't built for this fight. But Regenator. Collab beats control, tell the whole damn law.
Okay, looks like the results are all right. We are ready to announce the winners. So get ready. It's very exciting. Now, I will say that we had a couple of alternates that could not. There were a couple of others that could not come. They were the Carrot Foundation and Externality Labs. They were the 11th and 12th place as far as the judging going into this. They weren't here. And then Nine Sons, which was one of the presenters here. Actually, the founder or the presenter Johnny had to take off and go a plane, but they were the winner of third place. So congratulations to Nine Sons, even though they're not here. On second place, we have dun, 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 dun. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. Is the Indexing Company. Congratulations. Last but not least, they presented last, and they won. That's going against common wisdom. And then finally, number one was the Quadratic Accelerator. Woohoo! So now what we're going to do this year is we're going to give you pretty big spork allocations. As you guys know, now that we're making spork, to take spork into something more of an annuity, that'll actually be worth a lot more now. So once we know what allocation we'll get, we'll be splitting that up. Everybody that presented will be getting a certain amount. The judges will be getting a certain amount, and then first, second, and third will get larger amounts, obviously. But we'll let you know that once our Joshua, our fabulous treasurer, gives us what all the allocations are. But I want to thank you, and everybody give them a big round of applause. And thank you to all the judges. We really appreciate your expertise, your great questions, and the production team. And now we are going to get ready for the closing ceremonies and the judging for the pitch contests. Thank you, and stay around. We'll have a lot more cool free merch and lots more to find out about new companies. Thanks.